is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a great day today. It looks like my camera is still trying to adjust to the temperature. She's like, do I go cool? Do I go warm? Do I do a little bit of both? We're going to figure this out as we go along. How are y'all feeling? TGIF. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Do you guys have any fun and exciting weekend plans? Let me know if so. SJ, thank you so much for joining my channel membership. I hope you enjoy the exclusive videos and content that I put out. Yesterday, I published a video for you guys, my channel members, about Kale appearing on Caitlin and Tyler's podcast and just this like self-victimization tour that she's on that's like very, very weird. Anyway, Jaleesa, good morning, sunshine. Good morning, Theo. Kristen's in the house. Good morning. Stephanie, Jessica, Ali, Venetia, Ronnie, Bree, Acacia, Sassy, Michelle, LTL, Cynthia, Ashley, and Kahara, and everybody else watching. Oh my God, we've got some stuff to talk about. By the way, I saw Ali was at Costco. Ali, what are you getting at Costco? I remember the other day, I think it was Wednesday's episode, we were talking about like the Costco chicken salad. Did you run over there to get you one of them chicken salads? I am so jealous. If so, I love me some Costco chicken salad, pizza, poutine. They've got that over there in Canada, by the way. Good morning, Kayan. Good morning, Chocolate Dot. So nice to see y'all here. We have got so much to talk about in today's morning report, including Kale Lowry not appearing in this week's episode of her Coffee Combos podcast. Is it because of the cheating scandal? Is she kind of laying low for the time being? Is she kind of dealing with Elijah, her potentially trifling fourth baby daddy? I don't know, but she didn't appear. And what's weird is that I listened for the first couple of minutes. And okay, like at first it was obvious like Kale wasn't going to be there, right? But they never really explained it within the first couple of minutes. And like, no offense to Lindsay, no offense to Kristen, but if there's no Kale on Coffee Convos, I'm not listening, right? So I gave y'all a couple of minutes to explain to me why this girl wasn't here. Y'all didn't do it. So I bounced. I don't know if anybody else gave it more time than I did. If you did, please let me know what they said to explain Kale's absence, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. We also have to talk about dog killer Dave trying to get custody of his daughter with Janelle and fighting for child support from Janelle as well, despite the fact that he hasn't really seen his daughter in like a year or so. Megan Fox has given birth to her and Machine Gun Kelly's daughter. Congratulations to her and Machine Gun Kelly, of course. We also have to talk about Selena's killer, Yolanda Saldivar, being denied parole, which is amazing news. Unfortunately, in bad news for the day, we've got King Charles, who has just been admitted to hospital due to some issues and complications with his cancer situation. So thoughts and prayers go out to him. Waka Flocka made a really weird statement on a podcast about how if his wife were drowning and his son were drowning, like they fell off a boat and they couldn't swim or something, and he could only choose one of them. We're going to talk about who he said he'd choose and why that is very, very strange and why it's making the rounds on the internet. We also have to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills grifter Erica Jane being taken to trial for $25 million that prosecutors are claiming that she knowingly spent and stole and embezzled. And we also have to talk about Bethany Frankel being dragged by the Real Housewives of New Jersey stars as well. So much show for you guys today. And I'm so excited to talk about it all with you. By the way, y'all, I forgot to open up the phone lines yesterday. So I think what I'm going to do is today I will open up the phone lines at the end of the episode. That way, like we could really have a lot more like free flowing conversation and whatnot, because after this, all I have to do is watch last night's episode of Teen Mom and all that, and then blah, blah. So I've got time, y'all. Ali said she wanted a salad and a hot dog. Yummy, 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 yummy. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Jessica says, I'm getting my grandbaby tonight and taking him to a bounce play place Saturday. Jessica, you look so young. Grandbaby? What? What? Oh my God. Well, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, but wow, congratulations. I hope you guys have a great time. Isn't that so sweet? Good morning, Joy. Hi, we've got South Africa in the building. Zahida. Hi, Zahida. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us all the way from beautiful South Africa. Star is still in Miami. How is it going in Miami? Did you find yourself a nice little hot one over there, Star? Have a great shower. Oh, Lord. J-Dash, good morning, J-Dash. Chilling at home on the day off. Yeet. Love to see it, J-Dash. Enjoy your day off. How lucky to have Friday as a day off. You get a long weekend. Cara says, Boyz II Men is having a free concert. Wow, I'm jealous. Enjoy that. Y'all are having the best time. What? So am I, right? Because I'm here with you, of course. But look at you guys' days and weekends that you've got. She was working in New York or something. Ooh, Minnie, who are you talking about? Let me start this so I can come back to it later. Francine says, hi, Grace, watching from Perth, Western Australia. We got another Australian in the building. We had another Australian here yesterday as well. Amazing. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I see we've got Crystal and Cammie here as well. Welcome to you guys. Why don't we start off with Pop the Balloon? I forgot to bring that up, like when I was going to give you guys the rundown, when I just give you that. I posted this in my community tab yesterday, but I really want to know what y'all think about it today. Don't forget, we're going to open up the phone lines at the end of today's episode of the Morning Report, okay? So Pop the Balloon is a very viral YouTube show where you've got the host, Arlette, and there's always either a single lady or a single guy and a bunch of suitors or also other single people ready to pop a balloon the second that this person no longer meets their criteria, right? So whether it's appearance, whether it's personality, job, whatever, right? Having kids, blah, blah, blah. So it's been going viral, especially on TikTok. And now Netflix has decided that they want a piece of the pie. In fact, starting on April 10th, this is coming so quickly, y'all. April 10th, they are going to start showing this live on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm sorry to those of you who include me, right? Because I watched this show. I have to admit to you guys, okay, something. At first, when I saw clips of this show going around, I was like, oh my God, like, I think this is a bad look. I don't like it, okay? But then the more exposure I got to it, the more I'm like, you know what? Listen, I still don't love it. However, I'm addicted to it now, you know, especially the guy. There's a guy, I think he was a plumber or something, and he would just like, he had like the funniest personality. It was like funny in a bad way. Like he'd be like, you know what, queen, blah, blah, queen, like that guy. Like these, you know, like there were certain characters that you got used to seeing. So I'm sad that we're not going to have Arlette there hosting it on Netflix. And that's not to take away from the, you know, new host that they're going to have. It's going to be Yvonne Orji, who you might know from Insecure, Issa Rae's Insecure show over on HBO. But I don't know, like, it's Arlette's show, so why isn't she hosting it? Listen, I know she got money. She's going to be a producer of the show. So this was a deal that she and her husband made for the IP surrounding the show, right? So congratulations to her. Congratulations to her husband on being able to sell their show. Like to go from, you know, a YouTube, TikTok show to Netflix, especially a live show. The only time I ever seen Netflix doing anything live is when they're doing a reunion special, right? So for this to be like a live weekly show or whatever is absolutely insane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the first time that Netflix is going like down that route? Like in general, like that is so cool. Congratulations to them. What about you guys? Do you watch Pop the Balloon? Is this something that you're going to be tuning in for? And by the way, I have to tell you, it's not going to be just like a bunch of like random people the way that it has always been, right? We're going to be getting celebrities on Pop the Balloon. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to see celebrities on Pop the Balloon. I think it's going to make it corny, you know, especially these people whose whole careers involve them just like going from show to show to show. So shout out to my Teen Mom fans. Farrah Abraham is going to be there. I wonder how many, you know, I don't know if she's going to be the one single lady or if she's going to be like one of the people like waiting to pop a balloon. I don't know, but she's going to be there. Johnny Bananas from The Challenge is also going to be there. Chase Demore, the guy with the unbrushed tongue and then the beetle fell on his face on Too Hot to Handle. He's going to be there. Zaina from The Ultimatum. Remember when she was in a relationship with that guy, but it looked like, you know, she was single and that guy barely even knew her? She's going to be on there too. So that is, give me one quick second, you guys. I'm going to play some ads from some of our sponsors, and then I'll come back. Sorry, I had to answer the door. Give me 1 second.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video.
All right. Okay. So Farrah Abraham's going to be there. Zaina is also going to be there. So y'all also know Zaina as being Cheyenne's best friend. I actually just heard Zaina on AD's podcast, AD from Love is Blind, right? So she's got this wonderful podcast where she talks with a lot of like these Netflix stars, and she just featured Zaina on it. I get the feeling that she really wants to become like the next big thing over on Netflix, which, you know what, if that's the case, more power to her. And I think because she already had her start on MTV as being Cheyenne's friend on there, like she already has like a certain level of media training and media exposure that other people don't already necessarily have, which I think is serving her rather well. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how she does and performs on the show, of course, right? But I don't know. Are y'all looking forward to Farrah? Do you think that she's going to be able to like pull on Pop the Balloon, or just based on her notoriety, do you think it's going to be rather difficult for her to be able to get people to be there, to want to continue to get to know her? Cynthia says that she's going to be watching Pop the Balloon. Mullen says, check on Amanda Seales, the way that she is always ready and just to pounce on anything. Issa Rae, thankfully for her, Issa's not going to be on it, but Yvonne will. Does she have beef with Yvonne as well? I think she does. I think she has beef with anybody from the show that didn't stick up for her in general, right? Because for her, if you're not 100% involved, especially when it comes to her defense or anything like that, then it's a problem, even if you choose to stay neutral. So that is definitely something that I think she might take issue with, that's for sure. Theo says, what if someone tries to run up on someone who rejects them? Listen, maybe that's why they're bringing in the big guns here, right? Because they want to make sure that this is a safe environment for people, because I have always had that kind of a concern when I watch the show, to be honest with you guys, because some of them, some of the contestants on the show, particularly some of the men on the show, they do have this kind of like energy where it feels like they don't like respect or like women sometimes. So I definitely have had those sorts of reservations about the show, for sure, and it is worrisome. But this time, I think because it's going to be a bunch of like professional reality show people, we're not really going to have those kinds of worries. I don't think they're genuinely there looking for love. I think they're just there to extend their 15 minutes of fame, in which case, you know what, more power to them. Attention is money in today's economy, right? Steph says, why no Arlette? That sucks, but congrats to her. I don't know either. I think it's so strange. And I'm happy to see that so many of you guys are supportive of both Arlette and Yvonne from Insecure as well. By the way, good morning, Ramel. Nice to see you here. So although she's not going to be on it, she did release a statement supporting Yvonne as the new host of the show. So let me go ahead and read to you guys what she had to say about Yvonne being chosen to be the host of the show instead of herself. She said, and I quote, "We're thrilled to see Pop the Balloon take on a new life on Netflix. From day one, we've kept love and fun at the heart of the show, and watching it evolve and soar beyond our wildest dreams has been truly exciting. As executive producers, we're proud to support this next chapter and can't wait for both new and longtime fans to experience it. Yvonne is engaging, witty, and authentic, and we're looking forward to her serving as the host for the reimagined version at Netflix." You know what I think it is? Arlette, I don't really know her background too much, right? Like, I don't know if she's had experience hosting things live or whatnot, like with these massive audience. Like, I know she has a big audience on YouTube and on TikTok and whatnot, but I think it's different from like dealing with like celebrity personalities and like improvising live and stuff. And so maybe that's why. However, I will say that I do wish that she would have fought harder to be the face of it, because to me, I associate it with her. And again, this is no shade, this is no diss, no hate towards Yvonne. I really like Yvonne, but I would have loved to see Arlette try at least one season, of hosting it, of hosting the show, right? Cynthia says, I hate listening at work because people here need my full attention. I'm a program coordinator for parents with littles. It's called Parents as Teachers. Oh my God, what a sweet little job. That's so sweet. Not sweet little job, sorry. I'm thinking of little kids and sweet job. What a sweet job. That's so cool. cool, Cynthia. And I'm sorry you're distracted. Hopefully we'll catch you on the playback posse if there's any parts that you miss out on today's episode. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. I don't think I'll be recapping Pop the Balloon or anything like that. However, I definitely will be, tuning in to see what it's all about. I won't be able to tune in live, of course, because it's 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like 2 a.m. for me, right? So yeah. Now, why don't we, what? I did have some of your comments that I started that I wanted to get to see what y'all have to say about this show. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about Kailyn Lowry skipping out on the most recent episode of her Coffee Convos podcast. Okay. Star, I do have that same fear that like all of these people, the professional clout chasers taking over the show and whatnot, it might make it corny. There was just something so niche about it and cool about it, right? Before. And so now taking it to this level, again, I like that it's been being brought to Netflix. However, I'm not loving the celebrity angle, to be honest with you. I hope it's not exclusively celebrities. It would be interesting to see them mix with regular people as well, right? Ramal says, no, stop. They should have kept it normal. People having reality stars makes it fake because we know, they're not really real. Exactly. I think so too. I fear that they're going to kill it in general for Arlette by doing it, by bringing it to this level. So I don't know. I'm rather disappointed, you guys, but I will be tuning in nonetheless. I hope that we're wrong. I hope that these people bring it and that it's exciting and interesting. I don't know. We've got more Australians in the building. Wow. Kathy is watching from Brisbane, I'm assuming, right? At 1:15 a.m. Good morning. Alice, 4:15 a.m. What's HV? Oh, merde. What's HV? What's HV? Can you let me know? I want to know what HV is. Wow. Good morning to you guys over in Australia. Shout out to B, one of my Australian OGs as well. We go back and forth in emails sometimes. She's so sweet. Good morning, Ramster. Amanda Seals would beef with a vacuum cleaner if she could. And that is true tea, unfortunately. She's so antagonistic. And I think that a lot of times her messaging is correct. It's just the way she goes about it, right? By the way, Alice, no, we're about to get into the Kale story after this, so you haven't missed it. Don't worry. Star says, I think it's better for Arlette and BM to be producers. It helps differentiate the brands. This is an interesting point because perhaps by not appearing on Netflix, she gets to be the exclusive. Like maybe they worked out a deal where she gets to continue with the online. So if people don't like the reality angle, the Netflix angle, people can continue to go ahead and support her online.